is not generated outside of ourselves, but within ourselves. When we connect to life within ourselves, what we find is that we can access a universal portal that leads to creative understanding about whatever it is we're trying to accomplish. Along with that, we can experience the state of consciousness that not only leads to outward success, but is success in itself. Joyfulness, peacefulness, a sense of harmony, a sense of being, that life has a meaning. So often we find that people can live a whole life and they look back at it and they go, what was it for? What was it for? And if you speak with the people who had some great disaster in their life, we saw this horribly with 9/11. Thousands of lives not only lost, but many more thousands of lives disrupted with family members that were gone. And to a T, those people, when they were talked to, they didn't say that they missed the money. They didn't say that they missed all the time that their husband or wife was away working. What did they miss? They missed the love. They missed that communion, that fellowship. There is no more important part of life and more important way to succeed in life than love. And if we think that money or fame or any other outward accomplishment is going to be a replacement for love, we will find that we are mistaken. Now, you might think that love is finding that perfect soulmate, but you may or may not find that person. That could be wonderful, and the subject of soulmates is a whole nother larger discussion. But without love, without experiencing love, we will never arrive at happiness. And we don't need to wait to find happiness through any other person. Because the source of happiness, the source of well-being, the source of joy and peace and love is right within our own selves. Why do people associate the heart with love? Because the ability to perceive love emanates from that inner source that is the heart. Not the physical heart, but that energy center inside of ourselves. When you say, I feel it in my heart, you aren't saying, I feel it in my pa-pum, pa-pum, pa-pum. We're saying we feel it in that general area. And where does it come from? It comes from our inner connection to life itself. And how can we cultivate that inner relationship? Because that in itself will lead us to fulfill a fulfilling life. And then through that connection, we can bring it out into the rest of our lives so that we can express love as success in business. We can express love as success in relationships, success in parenting, success in driving a car when somebody cuts you off, success in going to a bad movie, success in, a culinary disaster in the kitchen. My friends and I, we call these disasters in life learning experiences. Because we have a choice in life all the time. How are we going to take it? Are we going to become angry? Or are we going to enter into the fun of it? I remember going on a hiking trip with a good friend of mine. And we hadn't been hiking in a while, and we were very enthusiastic about bringing every little comfort that we could. Our packs were heavy. I mean, way too heavy. And we had no idea what the trail was going to be like. We just, I suppose in a moment of optimistic thinking, we thought that the trail would be going, gently uphill. After all, we didn't know we were hiking in the mountains. But the trail ended up going steeply uphill. And we weren't in shape, and it didn't take long for all of the younger people in the group to go way ahead of us. And we were seriously in trouble. And what did we do? We laughed our way up that hill. We didn't stop and cuss and complain. We thought it was hilarious. We thought that it was fantastically funny that we were carrying way too much stuff. And we literally, in fact, we had to take laughing stops because we started to laugh so hard that we would just have to stop and laugh and then calm down, and then we would continue to go up. And I guarantee you that our experience going up that hill was a lot more fun than the person who took it negatively. The person who looked at the experience, the same experience, and decided to become upset and curse all steep trails and curse the person who didn't tell them how bad it was going to be, and even curse themselves for being stupid enough to load up so much stuff. That negative approach to life leads to its own result, unhappiness, where a positive frame of mind inevitably leads to a positive experience. I remember a very inspiring story that I heard about Richard Wurmbrand, who wrote a book called Tortured for Christ. And he, in that book, described an experience that he had where they were being tortured, and the other cellmates were in their cells, and they had taken on a devotional, love of God attitude in their suffering. And he said one time they were literally dancing and singing in joy and clinking their chains to the beat of their praises of God. Now, when you can take that kind of suffering and redirect it and channel it in a positive way, what you find is that there is literally nothing that you can't bring to a positive experience. There's nothing that you can experience in life that can bring you down when you choose to lift yourself up. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to like everything that happens in life. I'm not saying that who's going to say, wow, I really want to be in a serious car accident? Nobody's going to say that. Oh, I really want to suffer for, 5 years of cancer. No, nobody's going to say that. But once life has given you a dish, once life has served up that which is yours, you have the choice to decide, what will you do with it? What will you do with it? Your choice, your decision. And today what I would like to share with you is some techniques to increase the chances of you making that positive choice, and how you can do that positive choice, how you can cultivate that positive attitude. Because when you're first learning to wrestle, you don't wrestle big huge people. You do beginners. You do people that are your size. And then as you develop your skills, then you can handle more and more difficult situations. If you go into to the wrestling championships of the world, the day after you start wrestling, you're going to be in trouble. And a positive attitude probably isn't going to save you. You have to bring the skills with you. And so what we want to talk about today is, what are the skills that we can bring to life that will allow us to find joy, peace, love, understanding, harmony, even in the most challenging situations in life.